Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I am Authenticity. Today I will be playing a new character. They'll introduce themselves. I'm joined by the lovely and fantastic.
Hi, I'm Candle, and today I am also playing a new character, Iridiana, Everlight. So yes, should be fun.
hmm God, I'm so fucking excited.
Me too.
Oh, young Everlight.
Just
Could you
before we
tell
start,
me?
we should probably, for our listening audience, this game does take place in the past.
Oh, good catch. Yes,
Yes.
this happened a long, long time ago
Mhm.
on an island far, far away.
Yep. Anyway, yes. Continue.
Gosh, but yeah, could you explain to me exactly what uh this child is doing in an abandoned house?
Mm. Well, see, this is a very curious child, and I'm I'm wondering, would she have heard it as a rumor from friends at school, or was it like they passed by and she was told don't go there, and of course that means I've got to go there at the next bye author, hi author.
I'm so sorry I cut out halfway through that.
No, you're good. I said I'm trying to decide whether she heard about it from friends at school, or whether it was like they were passing by and her parents were like, "Don't go there." So of course she had to go there at the next available moment. But
Actually, it's probably both. Oh,
yep.
because it like her parents would have warned her away because it's a long abandoned building. Um but also the word on the street is that there is an evil lich in the basement.
Oh, yes. Yes, she is totally going there then.
Mhm. I will say, like, there's a convenient child-sized hole in the fence, just because it's been here for way too long. How would you like to make your how would you like to make your entrance into this house?
Okay, well, I'm first having a look at what spells I gave her. Um,
This baby has fucking knock. I'm going to cry with laughter.
oh, she is a wizard and I have not prepared spells.
Oh,
Whoops.
hun.
Give me a moment. Alright, what would she take? She's investigating an abandoned house today, so come on, DMV, don't do this to me.
Gently pet you.
Let me click on my spells. Alright, well, so she has the spell invisibility, which I don't know whether she's used to get here or not.
I'm going to. No one really looks at this house. This has been out of sight and out of mind, except for these rumors for quite a while. So I think that she probably just hummed the Mission Impossible theme and made it
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. She also has the spell jump.
wonderful.
So,
God, it's.
she might cast that on herself to get over the fence.
I mean, there's a hole in the fence.
Oh, that's true,
Um,
that's true.
But actually, I suppose I should have you roll perception first.
Yes. All right. Perception time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, honey, sure is a house.
Oh, off to a good start.
Well, even with, I'll tell you what's obvious. It's actually not a large house. It looks oddly as though it's been sunk into the ground. It's got these very tall, ornate sort of like cornices and spires and turrets. Almost it's sort of like kind of wedding cake-ish. Like
Mm-hmm.
it looks like a fairy tale house sort of, but it's um like there it's like there's a very short amount of house compared to the amount of roof. And
Ah.
the from what you can see, the windows, which look, as though they should be tall and narrow, and numerous, are kind of like they go right into the soil.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, you think that there's sort of a porthole, hobbitish sort of front door, but no, actually, that's like a window that's been like the glass has come out of it.
Oh, okay, okay. I think the reason she got such a low roll is she has pulled out a sketchbook from her bag and is sketching out the house because it looks really cool.
Mm. It's also like as like your artistic eye sort of goes over it and you sort of like noticing the symmetries and uh whatnot, it's sort of like leaning a little to the side. Like it
Mm,
just sort of looks like someone nudged it a little bit.
not concerning at all. I the player am like that I don't like that, but she's just like, oh cool. This place is
Mm-hmm.
definitely haunted. Yeah, so
Gosh.
she's will she fit through the hole? Assuming she
Oh,
sees it with that
absolutely.
6.
It's she does see it. Uh, actually, let me ask you a question. Is she wearing shoes?
Oh, is she wearing shoes?
Oh,
Let me
please tell
roll.
me that this baby didn't go, urban spelunking.
She has shoes.
Oh, thank fuck.
They're
God.
probably those they're open-toed shoes. They're those like the flip-flop sort of style shoes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this fucking 10-year-old. That's such a 10-year-old thing to wear to go urbexing.
Yep. Yep. She's got her shoes on. She's made sure that she's wearing something so she's not wearing any skirts today. Um she has not tied back her hair, but her hair is actually fairly short, so that's not too much of an issue. She's actually probably got a headband on to like sort of push it, like make sure it doesn't fall in her eyes. And she's got her
Mm.
trusty backpack. With everything a young 10-year-old explorer could need. So you've got the flashlight in there. You've got she's got a sketchbook. She's got an apple. I
Please tell me she's got like a hammer, some duct tape, like she just raided the she's a like this is useful. Puts it
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. She has her glass blowing tools in there.
Oh my
Whether
god.
they'll come in handy or not. Just, she went into the garage and just like swept everything that a 10-year-old mind thinks could be useful for this and into the backpack it goes.
Oh my god. Oh, this fucking baby. Oh my gosh. Oh, this poor dear. But yeah, it's um you are free to enter the crooked house.
Nice. All right. Do I need to roll anything to make it through the fence?
The fence has a hole in it.
All right, then she probably throws her backpack through before her and then wriggles through.
Mm-hmm. The hole is conveniently child sized, so it's no problem.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there is the front, not a door, looks kind of like a window. Um, but it's you could just in theory walk in.
Mhm.
It's maybe kind of small for an adult to get in, but like no problem.
Mm, mm. Yeah, she probably. Okay, I should roll for her, please. Oh, at least intelligences should be a good stat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That's
An
high
11.
enough. She stops before she enters. She takes her torch out of her backpack and then turns it on before she climbs through.
Mm. Roll me a perception check.
All right. That's more like it.
All right.
This is a curious child.
She is a curious child. Hmm. So what you walk into, Iridiana, is it looks kind of like an attic. Um, it's this sort of plain wooden space that contours to the slopes of the roof. Um,
Mm,
like it's this part is dappled with sunlight. And it's full of boxes. Trunks and chests and a couple cardboard boxes. There's some furniture scattered around in sort of the cluttered areas that uh, furniture tends to gravitate to when it's not being used. There's like a rocking horse. Um, it all looks very old. Um, at one point, it might have been ornately painted, and all of it looks, well carved, but it's not been used for some time.
hmm. Hmm.
And the sunlight streaks in behind you and paints all of this sort of um this strange dusty amber uh in the light. I think it's probably not quite evening yet, but it's like the latter half of the afternoon.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
that's sort of where the sun is.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. So I think she's spending a bit of time, I mean, treasure, in her mind anyway. So going around, seeing if she can open boxes, peeking under the. I'm assuming there's like the furniture with the sheets thrown over it. Like pushing against the rocking horse, see if it still works. Um, Things like that. Like, is there anything cool and interesting to find up here? I should probably roll an
Oh,
investigation,
absolutely.
hey.
You should absolutely roll an investigation. I will say the rocking horse does rock. Um, and as it moves, you can see kind of like this cool gilt that's lining some of the carvings. Like it just catches the light in a way that it wouldn't if you hadn't tried.
Hmm,
Okay,
interesting.
10. Most of the boxes are locked. The ones that aren't, like, you find some moth-eaten linens, you find photographs of people that you don't recognize. Like it's you find some generic sort of landscape paintings that look like they should have
Hmm.
been stored properly but weren't.
Yep.
Um, and um, you also find it looks like a trap door uh with a ladder that leads lower into a level of the house that is below the ground.
Yep. This is what she's here for. Um, yep. She's attempting to open the trap door.
And
Um,
it opens without issue.
she probably
Um,
does the like sleeve up, sleeve up. and then it just comes like easy, and she sort of like stumbles backwards a bit with the yes.
Mm-hmm. God, this girl. But yeah, it's made out of like a thin sort of plywood. It just seems like an attic door.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, is she going down the ladder?
Uh, yes, yes, she will
Could you roll
probably.
me acrobatics?
Yep, 15.
Okay. It's underneath Iridina's hands. Some of the boards seem a little bit rot. It's she might have to be a little bit careful coming back up, but
Hmm.
for now everything goes okay.
Yep, yep. Yeah, she maybe does a bit of that like slide down, like the outside. Um,
Mm-hmm. Nice.
or at
Would
least
you
for
like
the
to?
second half, and then to drop to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Gosh. Would you like to roll another perception check?
New room, new perception. Yep, I would love to. Hmm.
All right. It's much darker down here. It's you can still see it actually you can see glass windows that stretch, high up, like probably beyond the level of the ceiling into the attic. But like after a couple inches, they're tightly packed with dirt. They're underground.
Hmm.
Um, and actually, a couple have shattered, and a pouring of soil has littered the floorboards. It's probably not safe to go near those.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but you look around and it's again everything is super old. There's not a lot of like modern stuff in here, but it just looks like at one point this was like a little ornate cabin, like a cottage. Um, like it's in this room. There's a stovetop. A couple doors. One's open, and you can see. It looks like at one point it was like a cold cabinet.
Mhm.
Um, there's actually little doors with it looks like the remnants of runes around them, marking them as thing to keep the things within hot or keep the things within cool or to keep them at a certain temperature.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, there's one of those big big fireplaces that like a small child could stand in. With at one point it would have had a place to hang a cauldron, but the cauldron is uh lying nearby, cracked in two,
Mhm. Mhm.
and very very rotted. And so with a 14, you can also make out that it had food in it when it cracked, and the food has um well the remnants are still there. It's gross. Also, don't
Yeah.
go near that.
Yeah. No, there's a bit of a wrinkle of the nose at that. You think she's steering clear of that. Um, but for the
There,
most part, yeah, she's got her torch out again, and she's just shining it around.
hmm. There's also two doorways. Um, Also, there's a table with some papers on it.
Ooh, yep. Uh, Definitely going to have a look at that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Can you
roll
roll
another
me?
investigation,
Yes,
or
please.
something else if you would like me to roll something else for it.
Roll me investigate.
Author has been swallowed by the void again.
Hi.
Hi. I heard roll me investigation or.
Roll me an investigation and a history.
Okay. Here's the investigation. And what is your history, my dear? Oh, okay. That's one of her better ones.
Ooh. All right.
Well, that's a 10 on investigation and a 17 on history.
With 10 on investigation, it's these are forms, and you're a toon
Mm-hmm.
and also a child.
Yeah,
Like this paperwork, like blah.
yeah, yeah.
But you do recognize, you're a child, but you're not dumb. You know where to look for a signature on paperwork, and you recognize the name, Xavier Crossout, who was sort of this craftsman, who had separated from his family years and years ago and come to make his way in the Evershore Isles. Um, and he was known for his work with metallurgy, and um, it was said that he was investigating ways to have metal move on its own,
Hmm.
to imbue it, not necessarily with sentience, but with motion and kinetic energy. Um,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of like sort of tentacle with a knife incidents that happened very publicly. Um, and then he just sort of faded. People sort of, I think that the larger community sort of assumed he settled, into creating new types of screws and different appliances and getting his patents that way.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think that would be the sort of person she would have found really interesting to learn about. And I don't know, maybe they came up in a class and then she did her own research into the dude because
Mm.
like one, he's not from Evershore, so that's pretty cool. And
Mm.
two, like moving metal sounds really awesome, and yeah, she wants to know more about that. And three, the if he caused public disturbances, then yeah, she'd be all over that as well.
Mm. Yeah, it's if you did some research, like there's a lot of um like less in school and more like getting banned from you know, restaurants or the library. Or like there'd be old newspaper articles with editorials about crossed out has been crossed out, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Not a
Yeah.
popular figure.
Yeah.
Um
No, no, the uh definitely the probably just mouth the name uh like as she sees it and just like, "Oh, yeah, I know him."
mm, um but yeah, it's with a 10 investigation, I don't think she probably gets this, but it for the audience, as she sort of moves away, the camera stays on the top page, and you can see that one of the signatures is half finished.
Yeah, no, she didn't notice that. Definitely didn't notice that.
Mhm. But yeah, it seems to be sort of an old-fashioned kitchen, and there are two more doorways for you to explore.
All right. Can I roll another investigation on the doorways to see if there's anything of that would perk her interest of which one she will take?
Hmm. Absolutely.
Nope,
Hmm.
nope. She's probably going by the eeny miny mo method.
Yeah, it's the darkest shit down here. Also, Eeny, Miny, and Mo aren't here yet. We're in the past.
Yeah, they're infamous though of just pick.
Mm. But yeah, it's mm,
Right.
all right. Um, you look in with your little torch, and out of the gloom is illuminated. It looks like combination bedroom and workshop. Um,
Hmm.
there is a little twin bed that's sort of been pushed impatiently off to the side. And then just rows and rows and rows of, to your eyes, looks like the coolest toys you have ever seen. Would you like to roll a perception check?
Yes, yes, I would.
Okay.
That's a 19.
It On closer inspection, they're not toys at all. They're most of these are tools and bits of scrap metal and gears and cogs and bolts and screws and wires and springs, and this was where he did his work, you're realizing.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is where all the magic happened. And as your eye follows this closer and closer to the desk, you can see, some of them, are actually look like toys. There's a little mechanical monkey, but instead of like the cymbals, he's got a violin. There's some clockwork birds that look incredibly intricate. Like, you have no idea how these things would move, but it looks like they have articulation in more than one direction.
Oh, wow.
Um there's a sort of prison device that, as the light from your torch catches it, it sends a shadow of a rainbow over the wall. Um, there's like it looks like thick metal gloves, but the gloves are sort of oddly contorted on the shelves as if they were hands caught mid movement. Um,
Hmm.
and like it's Oh my gosh, Iridiana, you could get into so much shit with the stuff in this room.
Oh, yeah, yep. I'm actually going to roll her a whiz save.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. She doesn't immediately start pressing everything she can see.
Mm. Which it's there is an open drawer called buttons drawer, and half of them have like little notes that say do not press.
Yeah, though with
Like
the
it looks like suit buttons, but do not press.
yeah, yeah, there's the definite twitch of her fingers, but then like no, be responsible. Um, don't press all the buttons. Don't wind up the monkey and see if it plays. Don't wind up any of the things. She probably does like still touch them,
Hmm.
like sort of uh push a bit at the articulations, see if they move by themselves or like to get an idea of how they work, even though she doesn't
Mm.
know anything about robots, but she's still got that sort of like um problem solving mind of this is how it would work based on
Mm.
this and this. um and like with the prism that she'll do the she will probably have a little bit of fun with shining her torch through it and then putting her hand on the other side and letting it go through the her stained glass design to send like funky patterns on the wall. um
Mm. It looks very cool. Um,
yeah.
yeah, honestly, most of this stuff looks harmless. But that was a 19.
That was a
So I think that
21.
it was a
Oh wait,
21.
the whiz save was a 21, the 19 was the perception, sorry.
That's what I thought. Okay. Um, you notice like one of those little like one of those sort of waist high doors that go into like little storage spaces. There's one of those in the opposite wall.
Um, well, she may have rolled a 21 on that whiz save from before, but she's definitely going in there.
Hmm. When you try the handle, it is locked.
Damn it. Oh, this is just a pout on her face. Let's see. Do you have anything
I will say
defensive?
the wood on the door is a little bit rotten.
Okay, okay. Well, she doesn't have any spells that would help. Um, she might cast Mage Hand to give her some extra leverage and see if she can if the wood is rotten, she's gonna see if she can kind of just pull it out.
Mm. Roll me. I suppose that would be strength.
Yeah, it would be strength.
Hey,
Not bad.
drunk baby. She gets a 14. She is good.
She's probably shoved her foot up against the side of the wall, and put her entire force into it.
Mm. It's. I'll say with a 14, she doesn't get the entire door out, but she gets the top board. Like it just sort of like comes away from its moorings, and she can see inside. She can't quite get inside, but you could stick your torch in and look.
Oh yeah, she's definitely doing that, which means I get to roll another perception.
Mm. Actually, roll me an investigation as well
Okay, okay.
to see if you recognize what these things are.
Well, the first one is her perception, and then the second one is her investigation.
That actually makes it because this one had a very particular DC. It's
Okay,
a
okay.
low success, so it's so much, but it's with your torch you can see very like there's things sort of mounted on the walls in here. Like they're stored very carefully. There's a couple, small boxes, but most of it is you can actually make out. It looks like there's a sword mounted, and an instrument, and it looks like some sort of arcane focus.
Hmm.
And but there something about these items. Roll me Arcana.
Okay. Yep. Oh, she's also not bad at that. Oh, I say that. That's an 8.
Mm.
That's a 3
Oh,
plus a
hun.
5.
No, what? Roll again
Alright.
because I think it would be ironic. Oh, dang. Okay, the duality of base
Oh,
parser. That's a
God.
20 fucking 4.
Yep.
I'll say because I gave you advantage. At first you're like, well, it's more junk. There's nothing in like it. You kind of want to touch some of it, but
Mm,
the more like you look at these things, the less you like them. Something
yeah.
about these things just sort of, oh, these are dangerous. Oh, these are really dangerous. You don't know if you like these at all. Um,
Yeah.
it like in the arcane focus that's mounted on the wall is this sort of it's this tiny little orb that you could hold like a baseball. Um, and but there's something wrong with the way it reflects the light. Like it sort of twists on itself. It happens over and over again as if it's not quite continuous, like it's repeating. That sword is sharp and is it getting longer? It's like you don't remember it having quite so many points
Mm,
or looking quite that red. Um,
mm.
and there was this sort of long shape at the end, and I don't know if Iridiana would know what a gun looked like.
I don't think so. Not at this stage.
Then it's just this long, sort of oddly shaped item that makes you uneasy.
Mm, mm-hmm.
And with a 21, as you look at the interior of this room, and at first you think that it's like it's made out of like corkboard maybe or like plywood, but no, that's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of minuscule cogs. And as much as you didn't like what are very clearly weapons, you hate the way that these cogs are arranged. They hurt your eyes. You hate it, and before you know it, um your hand is back at your side with the torch, and you are shoving the board back into place.
Yeah, yeah. There's also the added layer of um were they iron?
Oh, say again.
Were they iron based?
They look more like copper.
Okay, okay. Just thinking because as being Faye, she doesn't like iron or silver. So that
Mm,
might have made her a bit more cautious as well. But there's definitely the nope.
yep,
As the
that
board
is.
goes back into place.
Yep. Um. So yeah, apparently that's where he kept his more dangerous projects. Um.
Yeah.
And you have a feeling you've discovered as much about this room as
Oh, hi again, author.
well. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. What was the last time you heard, or last thing you heard?
You don't think there's anything left to find in this room?
Okay. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, what did you hear from me?
I heard nothing.
Oh, alright. Well, I said, um, the last thing I heard was, that there's nothing left that she thinks she can find in this room.
Yeah, it's you can come back and play with some of the cool toys later, but yeah, it's for now it's unless you want to like take a thing and like spend the afternoon like attuning to it and learning about its properties. But that's not something that you can do in sort of a short amount of time.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think she wants to stick around in this room after the stint with the closet. So she might drop a couple of things into her backpack, probably the crystal and I don't know, maybe one of the flying devices into her bag before heading out.
Hmm. Yeah, it's you do have the other doorway to explore if you do like.
Yes, yes, she's still
Yeah.
she didn't want to spend more time in that room, but she's still very curious about the house. So other doorway it is. And do I get to make another perception roll?
You know it.
17.
All right. You walk in here and it's much less it's much less sort of like scintillating at first. Like it's less there's less cool shit, basically.
Mm.
But you do notice it looks like a little sort of personal library. There's a smaller desk with some filing cabinets next to it. Um, and a couple bookshelves of some thick books, some comic books,
Books. She loves books.
books. Are you going for the books?
Yes.
Could you roll me in acrobatics?
Oh, okay, cool. Yep, I can do that.
Mm, 15.
15?
It You make it halfway across this little room when the floorboards sort of give this wet sort of creak, and you have enough time to go, oh fuck, before you are falling.
Oh,
uh,
good.
luckily luckily it's not that far and you roll pretty good, so you don't land on your shoulder or anything. It's actually I
Yeah.
should roll. I think it's a 1d4 per story falling damage.
Mm-hmm. Something
Okay.
like that. I can look it up.
1d6 per every 10 feet.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's a little bit. No, I say it's about 10 feet. So I'll do 1d6.
yeah.
All right, please take 1 point of falling damage.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So you fall on your butt, it hurts.
yeah, maybe she managed to like grab the edge of it as she was falling, and that sort of like meant she did a bit of the like hang swing drop sort of thing, so that like it wasn't like the full 10 feet all in one go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. Man, that's a cool visual. You land in like a cool superhero pose, and you're like, you are the coolest person in the universe.
Yeah, she's
There's no one cooler than you.
yeah, she's just like just the drop. Yes! Like hands up in the air and then the ow.
Oh, 1 sec.
Yep.
Great news. Apparently I'm losing power in an hour because the local electricity guys have to remove an osprey nest.
Oh no.
So I do finger guns.
Well,
Um,
ours should be fine, and
it.
if not, we can always split this into two parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. We've been 43 minutes and you haven't even met my character yet. So the FPS is going great.
Yep.
Um, honestly, I'm having fun though.
I'm having so much fun.
All right, I am. I mean, anything for the ospreys. Anyway, but regardless,
New room,
you.
new perception.
Yes, unfortunately, I promise this will be the last room.
That's okay. It's been good. This is what like okay. She doesn't have the like the skill in it, but like this is what she's good at, I suppose. Or this is what she likes to do. Oh, that's a nat one.
That's a net one. It's darkish. I think actually you look up and you can see your torch sort of like on the edge of the floor above you.
Yeah, there's the
Mm.
like the tongue sticking out face uh before she is her backpack up there as well?
Um, I say that your backpack is on your you.
Okay, then she's gonna touch the backpack and cast light.
Mm. Yeah, it's actually it wasn't completely without light down here in the least, because you can see it it takes you a second to realize it's some sort of like calculating machine. Like you can see like little dials and buttons with numbers on them and letters and runes. And they're sort of all of the buttons have strings on them, and the strings are uh woven together into this large net. And it's
Hmm.
I don't know if she would know what a computer is, but you know what a computer is, I'm sure. Uh,
I do.
so I would hope so. Um, Otherwise, you must be extremely confused right now. Um, and you can see an a display on this sort of uh arcane computer that says LICH. Oh, one sec.
Mhm.
Hello? Hey, bud.
I'm going to bed.
Going to bed?
Yes. Good night.
Sleep well.
Will do. Have fun with your friends.
Thank you.
Your mom told you, right?
About the Osprey nest, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, goodbye.
Love you. Love you. Good night.
Love you too. Oh, would you look at that? I didn't mute it. Okay. That's fine.
That's alright.
Sorry.
You're all good, you're all good.
My brother. My brother, everybody.
Hello, Arthur's brother. It was nice to hear from you even briefly, and I hope you sleep well.
He's gone now, but I'll tell him once I'm off recording.
Yeah, yeah.
God, I don't know what it is with me and that mute button. Um,
You're all good.
but yeah, it's I don't think it takes a intelligence check to know that this is probably where all the rumors came from.
Yeah, yeah, just the like the LITCH and it's just like Litch.
Mm.
um what's she going to do? What are you going to do, my child?
It hmm. I think that the way that Nat 1 pans out is like she is thinking and she like goes to sort of like pace around a little bit and she turns and hey, that's a table with a body on it.
Oh, there's definitely a wah! And then like sort of stumble back a bit, find something I like in the room to sort of like use as a makeshift weapon before realizing, right, uh it's like it's just a what is it? But it's not moving, but it Lich, and that is it dead? Is it
Hmm.
just like sort of thoughts.
Would you like to poke it to see if it's dead?
Um, let me roll. Yes, she is poking it.
Mm. It makes a ting ting noise. And oh, it's not a body at all. It's sort of this metal sort of statue sort of thing.
Oh. Yep, okay. She's a lot less nervous now and is getting closer to it. Um, shall I roll an investigation?
That and an arcana.
Okay.
I'll say that the DC for this investigation is low, but it sort of how see how much I give you.
Yeah.
Okay. And a okay.
Is that exactly the same as like one of the ones above or something like that?
I think so. It was a low investigation and then hell of a uh
An
a hell of
arcana.
a arcana.
An
Apparently
11
this
and a
is a
21 for the people listening.
god. Apparently this is a magic sea little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, it's um there's writing all over the top of this table. And I don't think you can make out um like you can make out a word or two sort of. It's it's runes. It's it looks like arcane equations, which I
Mm.
think she's at least seen before. Um
Yeah, yeah, she's just sort
but
of like kicking herself a little bit because she does have comprehend languages, but she didn't prepare it today, and she's just like,
I'll say that these are runes. They're not a language per se, but um I think there's a distinction. It doesn't matter.
I
Um,
think with an 11, she hasn't quite figured that out.
mm, but with a 50 or a 21 in Arcana, um, the more you stare at these designs, these swirling shapes, the more you see them sort of lead to the figure, um, to sort of this center uh that would be right beneath its shoulder blades. And as you look at uh this figure, it's sort of this clunky sort of shape, very tall. In a person, it would be sort of like thin and willowy, but it's sort of built like a as though it were made out of tin cans, like sort of blocky shapes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it creates the illusion of being broader than it is.
Yeah.
And it's got these um like glass eyes with a surprising amount of like plating around them as if it was supposed to move. And this sort of this big slab of a mouth.
Hmm.
And it looks as though it's some sort of like creature sleeping. Um,
Hmm.
and you can tell with a 21 in Arcana that if all of these patterns were activated, it would do something to the figure.
Okay, okay. What are you going to do, my child? Um, hmm. Does she want to turn them on or not?
Mm,
I'm gonna roll another whiz save.
that's a net
That's a
one.
note one. Um, she's a curious child. She was restraining herself upstairs. She's not restraining herself now. She wants to see what it'll do. So
Mm,
she's gonna try and activate it.
I mean, they are ruins that have probably already been written, and you are a wizard.
Mhm. Mhm. So,
With an Arcana, I think it you can tell that what sort of spell you use matters, but if you cast any spell, it would do something. So it really depends on, what sort of bang and how much of one you want to make right now.
that's a one a nat one on intelligence. What are you going with, my dear? You know what? That could be fun.
Hmm.
She's going to cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay. Yellow.
Oh,
Would
did
you
you
mind?
drop out again? Or did I drop out?
I think I dropped out. But would you mind posting the spell in the FPS notes?
Yes, I was just about to do that.
Thank you, friend.
Come on, you can do it. There
I
we
will say,
go.
by the way, I love this child very much.
There we go. Did that come through for you?
I don't see it yet. Discord,
Alright.
why are you like this?
Yeah. I can read it out loud if you would like.
I might have you. I'm sorry.
Alright. Shocking Grasp is an evocation cantrip. Casting time 1 action, range touch, duration instantaneous. Lightning springs from your hand to deliver a shock to a creature that you try to touch. Make a melee spell attack against the target. You have advantage on the attack roll if the target is wearing armor made of metal. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So yeah, would you please make me a melee spell attack?
Yeah, I would love to. Do I get advantage?
Yes, you do.
Alright.
All right. Roll me some damage.
Yep.
And no, that's not a crit. Okay. 5 points. Okay, let me look at something I have typed out. As you cast your spell, it it's shocking grass. So it's you. Lightning springs from your hand and touches the runes. And is there any sort of motif or color to Iridiana's magic?
um yeah, it's sort of like it rainbow, like it glitters with like all the colors of a rainbow as it sort of like arcs along, like the color sort of shifts as it goes.
Mm. Yeah, it's and you see that effect like it starts slowly and then it goes a little bit faster and faster and faster and faster and then uh this this entire table is arcing with blues and purples and reds and oranges and pinks and it looks like the gilt on the rocking horse. Like it's these intricate colors and patterns. And it's gorgeous.
Ooh, it sounds it.
Mm. And then as just as it began, it slowly the edges begin to dim, and then the dimness spreads, and it's interesting because as it does, you can sort of smell. It smells a little bit like pennies. It's odd. Or not, maybe not pennies, a little bit like iron, but it doesn't, like, it's not as repulsive as iron would be. Like
Mm.
something that smells like iron, but
Some
isn't.
yeah, something that smells like iron, but then doesn't give her like the headache from smelling iron or something like that.
Exactly. Um, and yeah, it's faster and faster. The light begins to ebb away from the tracings, um, until it vanishes underneath the back of this figure. And you are alone in a dark basement, looking at maybe a statue. You're not sure.
Mm. Oh, what is she going to do? I think she's probably going to blink, because that was probably pretty bright, and now it's dark again, or at least very dimly lit. Um, and so like blink, rub at her eyes, and try and adjust back to the difference in light level. And then she's going to look to see if anything happened.
Mm. Actually, there is one change as your that's probably suddenly very a little bit noticeable because you can't see the dark parts of the room, but you can see the illuminated image in the netting in the computer-like device. It
Mm.
has stopped saying LICH and it started saying intruder detected.
Oh dear.
And there is a crack above you. You have
Oh.
one action to react. You're not sure what's happening.
Um, I think she's going to cast invisibility
Mm. Yeah, it's
on herself. Which is
it,
concentration up to an hour. A creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person. The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell.
mm-hmm. Do. It's hmm. As you do this, I think that you sort of like you sort of make yourself smaller in sort of a I'm not here sort of motion.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, as something clanging that makes quite a ruckus as it hits the ground falls all around you. And
Oh.
your back starts to burn a little bit as this thing brushes you. Um, and when you look up, you are invisible inside an iron cage.
Oh dear. Mm. Okay. Okay. Oh. You don't. Mm. There's a um just a moment, and because this is a child and she may be a toon, but there's just a shit.
Mm.
uh as okay. Well, um I don't think I don't think she has anything that's gonna help here.
Hmm. I mean, it's as the dust settles. It yeah, it feels pretty solid. Um, and it's like even being near the stuff sucks. Like
Mhm.
you're not going to be happy if you have to be here for a long time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think this may be the point where it occurs to Iridiana that no one knows she's here. She didn't tell anyone, did she?
No, no, she did not. Uh, she definitely didn't tell her family. Maybe she boasted to her friends that she was going to check it out, and they were like, "Yeah, right." Um,
Hmm.
so there's a chance there, but it's probably a while before anyone knows that she's gone missing and might think of where to check for her.
Yeah, and she's in the basement. A basement that, other than the floor she uh, fell out of, does not seem to have a conventional sort of way to get to it.
Yep, and she doesn't have anything on doesn't have any of the spells prepared that could help her in this situation, because she does know Misty Step. She didn't prepare it today, and so she's just like,
Mm. It. Hmm. Tell me what invisibility would do to the light that she cast on her backpack.
um, interesting question. So light. So invisibility is a concentration spell. Light is not. So
Mm-hmm.
until the spell ends, the object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. Has she even thought about the fact that her backpack is casting light and she just did invisibility? Because, like, then maybe, like, the light is still there, but there's not anything that it seems to be casting from?
It. Oh, there's a stack of jeans for RPGs. Okay. Um. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can still see in a 20-foot radius about you. So roll me perception.
Okay. It's a 12.
Mm, I'll say that's enough that behind you, on the from the direction of the table, you hear sort of this quiet sort of like zzz, 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 like
Oh.
cogs whirring.
Oh dear. Um, she makes a bit of an eep, like, then clamps her hand over her mouth, and spins around, and she's probably, like, she's still invisible, and she's still clutching onto, I think it was, like, probably a plank of wood, that she's got sort of, like, clutched in one hand, like, up against her chest, like a, like, this is bad. I'm stuck in a cage that doesn't make me feel very good. I have no way out. No one knows I'm here, and I think I did something stupid. And now I might not be alone.
Mm. And you look behind you, and the figure is now moving. They are very slowly sitting up, and sort of slouching forward, as if they their weight is sort of lifting forward, and they raise their head and they look around. And let's see, what is your per? Okay, I'm going to double check that because that's a lot of +4s in a row. Okay, 21.
Oh
You
wow.
see this. They actually their metal spine straightens, and this creature steers around the room in this sort of smooth arc, almost like a lighthouse spinning. And then it fastens on the light. And then it fastens on the space where your backpack would be. and it tilts its head.
Oh dear. You didn't think this far ahead, did you, Iridiana?
Mm.
um. Oh. I think she probably realizes. Actually, I should roll her an intelligence. Have you worked out that you're still casting light? Yep. She realizes she's casting light and it goes out.
Mm. So that means that you have no visual as you hear zzz, 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 coming a little bit closer.
Oh.
Um, and then there's a zzz, and then it, a clatter is something uh, metal hits something else metal, and something else metal hits something else metal, and a bunch of things go crashing down. Uh, this is, by the way, disconcertingly close.
Yeah, I don't think she can move any further backwards either because she did the edge of the cage did graze her on the way down. So yeah, I think I don't think there's anything she can do but just stand there with the piece of wood ready and be as far away from the noises she can get.
Mm. And uh, after uh, a short amount of that sounds as if something is getting off the floor, and then almost falling again, and then getting up again. Uh, the uh, the mechanical noises sound very, very close. Um, yeah, I will say you have one action to do whatever you want.
Um uh okay.
It's okay
Yeah.
if there's not much. She is a very small child and she's in the dark, and it's okay if she's kind of frozen up.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm going to roll another D2. Um I think she's going to attempt to strike out with the piece of wood that she has in her hand. So that would be an attack roll, but in the dark, so probably at disadvantage. So,
Mm-hmm.
and with a makeshift weapon, which is. I don't remember what the plus on that is. Like, the modifier on that is.
Um, 5e improvised weapon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I don't think she has proficiency in it. A plank of wood would be similar to a club or a staff. Which I don't think she has proficiency in. So then I think that's just her dex modifier on it and no proficiency. You still there?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just listening.
Alright, cool. I don't even need to roll the second time, I don't think. Well, I should just in case she gets an out one.
This poor girl.
Nope, nope, that's a
Well,
5.
that's a perfectly good waste of a natural 19 or a natural 17.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah,
It's
it's
yep. Wah! And then the hit out with the the piece of wood that hits absolutely nothing.
Mm, yeah, it's there's a pause in the dark, and then um you feel the cage being lifted off you, and you hear clatter as it's cast to the side, and then someone else casts light. And the way they cast light is um it you see in the darkness this tiny curl of purple light. And as it spreads, it becomes red, and then orange, and then yellow, and then green, and then blue, and then indigo. And it very slowly it traces the contours of this figure, just as your magic did the table,
Mm.
until it looks as if it is glowing rainbow from the inside with your magic. Um, and you see it knelt down with its hands out towards you as if trying very hard not to scare you.
Uh, um, hmm. I think I'm gonna roll that for multiple reasons, I think.
Mm?
I'm gonna roll a whiz save just for to see how she's doing.
Mm.
Yeah, well, 21. Um,
This is a hardy little girl.
yep. I think she's fairly fascinated by the light. Um, and like, yeah, that's my magic. Um, did I do that? And so I think the invisibility drops. She stops concentrating on it, and she's just sort of. She's still got the plank of wood in her hand, so it's fairly obvious what happened before. But then there's just like curious yellow eyes just staring up at this new figure.
Mm. And I think unless she's going to do anything to stop them, they just sort of reach forward and just sort of pull her into a hug. And it is it's not the most comfortable, because you are a small child, and hugs, and also they're made of metal, but it's not as cold as you thought. It feels as if you're touching something living.
There's just that moment of like blink, blink, and then the
Mm.
who are you?
Oh, and they sort of pull back, and they go, "Well, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I thought." And they stop, and they sort of head tilt at you almost like a bird, and they go, "I suppose I thought I you were someone else. Hello, who are you?"
Uh, I'm I'm Anna.
"Hello, Anna. Who am I?"
You you don't know?
"How would I?"
Hmm. I and she stops and she's like, "Are you the Lich?"
"I suppose I must be."
I've never met a
They,
Lich before.
I didn't know there was more than one. How would you tell us apart?
It's just well, would you look the same?
I don't know. I just got here.
Hmm. But then where did you come from?
I think I came from the table. I think. I don't know where else I would be. I don't see any doors, at least on this level. Actually,
Um,
that seems like a design feature. How did you get down here? And they look up at the ceiling. Oh, does this sort of thing happen to you a lot?
oh, okay. I will have to roll that. You're welcome to roll an insight as she sort of like grin and no.
Sure, they'll roll insight. What's your insight there, buddy? Okay, pretty good insight. 10.
As
I
far
believe
as
you.
as far as they're aware, this child is telling the truth.
I believe you wholeheartedly. I don't think you're the sort of child to lie. I assume you're a child. I don't know quite why I know what a child is, but you seem like one.
Yeah, I'm 10.
Is that a large number?
Um, not really. For well, it depends. Toons, well, it's not really even that easy for toons because they're different. Yes.
10 is a large number. I will remember this. Well, hello, Anna. I suppose I'm Litch. What are we doing here?
uh, well, I was exploring. I don't know what
Oh,
you're doing here, though.
well, right now I'm kneeling. And before I was tossing that horrible cage away. Why did you get into that thing?
She just scrunches up the faces like, well, and didn't do it on purpose.
Well, since this sort of thing doesn't happen to you very much, I suppose I can't fault you for it.
And she probably just laughed and you're funny.
You're funny. Hmm. And they're sort of looking around the room. It's with light cast. You can actually see a little bit of light, sort of, in her optics. Like it looks sort of like they're twinkling with good humor.
Hmm.
Uh, she goes, well, I do wonder what I was doing before I got here. I do wonder where this is. I don't think it's my space. But I do think I know something, so I don't think I was born just now. Although it would be fascinating if I were. Do you suppose that one can be born with sort of an innate knowledge of the universe? For example, I know what an umbrella is. Why on earth would anyone make? I suppose I'm an automaton, with knowledge of how to construct and use an umbrella.
Maybe they're not waterproof?
I feel like there would be more sort of intensive equipment dealing with that sort of issue, but I suppose it's a hypothesis. There, you see, I'm not even quite sure why I know what a hypothesis is.
I'm gonna roll to see if Anna knows what a hypothesis is. Yeah, she does. Ah,
Nice, smart baby.
I know what that is. We learnt about it in science. It's where you come up with a theory, and then you test if it's correct.
Mm, that's just so. It's a working theory. It's something that might be true, but also might not be true. I think that's actually a very exciting thought, the idea of something not being true. Because if something's not sort of set in stone, and they look at their own metal arms, uh, then who knows what else might not be set in stone? Perhaps I'm really, I don't know, a duck or a turkey.
You don't look like a bird, but that I mean, there's a lot of things that uh, are unknown. I'm gonna figure them all out.
Oh, are you?
Uh-huh.
And you know, just from talking to you for a few minutes, I have an idea that you're telling the truth. Hmm. Well, who knows? Perhaps you'll help me find out where I came from before I wound up in. I assume this is some sort of loser's basement. Um.
Uh, uh, she has puffed up at the like I'm gonna figure them all out. And is just like, yeah, I I don't know who lives here. It's been abandoned for a while, but
Hmm.
we're on Evershore, and you can stay with me until we find out more about you.
Hmm. I don't hate that idea. I suppose that we might as well keep the house between the two of us. I don't know if you want it or not, but a house seems like a not terrible thing to have. I seem to remember that houses are in some way useful. Something about a roof, something about right, never mind. Um, and they sort of like they they spring to their feet and then fall over. And they go, "Ow." That's not how standing works.
No, you gotta on both feet and balance and here I can help and she's gonna try and help pull you up.
Mm. Please roll a strength.
Yep. Oh,
All right. This is strong, baby.
strong baby with a -2 but has rolled a 14 and a 15 on strengths.
Oh my gosh. It's you have the suspicion that Litch is sort of helping you, but you successfully pull this full ass robot to its feet. Um, and she sort of looks down at Iridiana uh happily and says, "You know, I think we should keep each other. I'll be yours and you'll be mine, and that's how we'll go along. Does that sound good?"
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I uh well we can go exploring together. I've been doing it on my own for now. And then realizes
Mm.
that she told you earlier that she didn't often get into situations like this.
Well,
Whoops.
that's certainly no good. You bad things happen when you're alone, I think. And again, I don't know how I know this, but it's just better to have a friend, to have someone to watch your back, to have someone who's more ticked off than you are to face the darkness with you. You know?
Uh, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I've never had anyone before, but sounds nice.
Mm. Tell you what, we will both find some friends for the two of us to share.
Yeah.
And they sort of pick her up, standing much more solidly on their feet, and sort of look her over, and they go, "You know, I think you might be my niece. I think I like that. You can be my niece. How about that?"
Uh-huh. I
I
can
don't know why I know what a niece is, but
I can call you auntie then.
there you go, Auntie Litch. I think that has a nice ring to it.
Yeah. Me too.
Mm.
The kids at school are gonna be so jealous. I'm gonna come back with proof that I wasn't scared and I went into the house and look, you're so cool.
You're cool. I think that like she just gets sort of this sort of like happy hug.
Hmm.
Like it's very gentle, but there's something almost childish about it.
Aw. Yeah.
Like it's like this is someone who whatever their heart is made out of, who loves with their whole heart.
Oh, I love them so much.
Mm. And I think like they just stand there, sort of like gentle hug, and then they look around like, so how the hell do we get out of here?
Mm.
Um,
Oh, I got an idea. And she's going to cast jump on you.
oh boy. Gosh. Um, and the way, remind me how jump works?
Hold on, let me just find it again. I lost it. I found it and then I lost it and now I found it again.
Mm-hmm.
One action, range touch, duration 1 minute. You touch a creature. The creature's jump distance is tripled until the spell ends.
Nice. Yeah, so they just go, whoa, so what do? I just sort of, and then they do a little hop, and they go, whoop, and they jump straight through the, straight through the hole in the ceiling.
Yep.
And when they land up there, they, they are laughing, and they go, we're going to have a lot of fun together. We're going to do something incredible. I am just sure of it.
Yeah. And she just throws her hands up like this is the coolest thing. Like she probably like was holding on, and then it's like the hands go up, and then background like because yeah, doesn't want to
Gosh.
fall.
Mm. And I have a hard time imagining any better any better note to end it on.
Yeah, that seems like a great place to leave it. These two being just set to cause havoc in the future.
Hmm. God,
So
it's
good.
gosh. Thank you all for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, author, for indulging me in the like poking you like last night and being like, "Hey, do you want to do this tomorrow?"
God, I mean, it's just I had so much fun. These two are delight. I
Uh,
love them so much.
I
My
love them
heart.
so much too. Oh.
Gosh. All
Anyway,
right, I'm going to stop recording. Thank you all for listening, folks.
yeah. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.